Welcome back to my channel, Kentucky Crafter. I am Sandy if you're new here, and for all my returning subscribers and viewers, thank you all so much for coming back. And if you're new, I invite you to subscribe. I have tons of videos on junk journals and making junk journals, and also on Cricut, and also I've started some sublimation videos as well. So I hope you subscribe and hit that notification bell and check out all the videos that I have so far. Today's project, it's a little bit different than junk journaling, but with Valentine's coming up, I thought it would be fun to make a Valentine's shirt for my granddaughter, and I'm actually using sublimation. So I'm going to walk y'all through the design process that I used in Cricut Design Space, and then I'll show you how I ironed or sublimated the image onto her shirt. And I've already given her the shirt by the time you all are seeing this video, and she absolutely loved it. So that was very fun to see her enjoy that shirt. I also wanted to remind you all that I have a giveaway going on. If you're watching this when it's most recently posted, and the giveaway ends on February 7th. So please take a look at that video and check that out and see if you might be interested. It's just a thank you to all of my loyal subscribers, and just wanted to do a little giveaway as a way of saying thank you. So yeah, I hope y'all are doing well, and we will jump into the project now. And make sure you leave some comments down below what you think of this shirt. And if you have any questions about Cricut or Design Space, please leave those down below as well. I'm happy to answer them and also give you some more tips on Cricut if you want them or need them. All right, let's jump into the project. So this is the image that I created in Cricut Design Space to put on my granddaughter's shirt, and let me walk you all through how I made this. So I have some other files over here to kind of make it a little bit easier to show you. And I'm working on my Mac. I just got a Mac, so I'm learning how to navigate on here, so be patient with me. So the first thing I want to show you is the hearts. That's kind of the easiest. So I just went over to shapes, and then I selected the heart shape right here, and then you also have this one up here. And then I went into, so I'm going to change this. Oh, actually, I forgot, guys. This one I actually found under images when I went searching. Let's see. And then I think that one as well. What I wanted to show you. Oh yeah, I forgot you all. I'm so sorry. So these are images that I found under the images, and I just went in and I searched for hearts. And I filtered on print and cut, and then I just scrolled through, and there they are. See, there's that one there. Sorry about that, didn't mean to confuse you all. So that was one option that I could have used, and since I was sublimating on pink, I was really trying to focus on a good color combination. So what I did, I wanted to play around with their patterns. And so I wanted to show you this here. You make some room. So you can see there's lots of really pretty options already out there in Cricut Access. But what I wanted to show you was and you have to change this to a print and cut. And then you can go into this and go click on the little box here, and instead of color, you can select pattern. And here you have all these hundreds and hundreds of patterns that you can choose from. And I'll pick a couple so you can kind of see what they look like. And then it just applies it to, and I'll move this down so you can see it. It just applies it to the image. Here's another one here. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. And then the other thing you can do is you can edit the pattern. Say you want the Christmas trees to be a little bit bigger, then you can drag this and it'll actually make them a little bit bigger. And then if you don't like kind of how they're showing up on the page, then you can change by doing the horizontal and the vertical to kind of move to an area on the pattern that you want to utilize. So that's a neat feature that you can edit the patterns. And what I did is I filtered on a pink color, and I wanted to narrow it down because I didn't want to scroll through as many. And you can see here you have lots of different options. And I mean, isn't that just gorgeous? And I'm going to play around more with these patterns for my junk journals and print them out on some paper. But anyway, I digress. I went around and just kind of thumbed through these images for quite some time, and I settled on this particular image. So that's how I came up with my heart image. Next, I had Gigi's Little Valentine. And so for the Gigi, I just went through and you just insert the text here and just type Gigi. And this is the beloved text right now that I'm set on. You can see that right there. But I went through and just went through all of my different fonts, trying to decide which kind of font I was wanting to go for. And you can see here, well, go away. There we go. You can see all the different fonts that are available. And so you can see I wanted to save some of the different ones I was considering just so you can see. But I ended up going with this one because it had the hearts on it. And I thought that was appropriate. And one of the things I did, let me move these other ones out of the way, is I knew that I wanted the GG to curve around the heart a little bit. And so once you have your word, and I've already changed this to a print then cut, so I can't do it on this one, but I can do it on this one. And what was this font called? I forget what that font was called, but you'll get the idea of it on this one. What you do is you go up here to the curve button, and you can just change the curvature of the word, and you can get it to however you want it to be. And that's all I did. It was very, very simple. And then for the sorry guys, new Mac user here. And then for the little Valentine, this was the font that I went with, was Beloved. And I wanted to have an offset. So I want to change the color of the background so you can see this a little bit easier. So little, and to create an offset around that, you just go up here to the offset button. And then I like a fairly small offset. So I go down to a 0.1. And and apply it. And then I'm going to change that offset. You can see this gray over here where my mouse is. I'm going to change that offset to a white. And there you have it. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the Valentine. And it keeps it at the 0.1, which is nice. Hit apply. And then I'm going to change that to white. And then the other next important thing is to think about the size. So for my shirt, it needed to be, around 5 inches thereabouts. So the next thing you want to do, which I forgot to tell you about, is you want to select both of these and you want to attach them. And I didn't want to do that. Oops. Let's see. I want to put both those together and group them. And then the same thing with these two. And hit the group button over here on the right. Hopefully you can follow my mouse. And then you can size these down to the size that you need. So we'll come back over to the image here. So all I did was place the little and the Valentine on top of the heart, and then you can see how I have the GG curved, and so I have that there. And what I did is, once I got the little and the Valentine placed on top of here, and the GG where I wanted, I selected all of it, and then I hit the flatten button. And then that turns it all into a print and cut. And then I'm going to print it out on my sublimation printer, and I'll show you me ironing it on. A couple of reminders before I hit the print button. So again, I've made sure I've sized this to what I want for my shirt, which is 5 inches by about 4.5 inches. And the flattening, that helps make this all into one image and one layer, which is what you need when you're doing print and cut. If you don't hit the flatten button, then it's not going to assume this is all one image together. So just wanted to point that out. So with sublimation, you're going to use the print and cut feature in Cricut Design Space, and you obviously can do sublimation outside of Cricut. Now, the one thing you need to remember with sublimation is you need to mirror the images, and so you make sure you hit mirror. And I'm printing out 2 because I'm going to do a test sublimation on another shirt before I do it on the shirt for Mary. Here is my sublimation printer. You can see the Eco tanks right there. And I'm using Printer's Jack ink. I have a whole video on how I converted this printer to sublimation, so you can check that out. And then you need to make sure you're using special sublimation paper, and this is A-Sub is the brand, and that's the back side of it. So you load this into the printer. This loads from the back. You see that back there, and then I am going to print it out. Here is the shirt that I am putting the design onto, and this is a 50% cotton, 25% polyester, and 25% rayon. And I have my Easy Press 2 heated up to 385 degrees, and I'm going to do it for 45 seconds. All right, I tear around the edges of my design so that it doesn't leave a nice big square imprint on my shirt. And first you want to make sure you do a lint roll and then warm the shirt up just for 5 seconds. Then put your design down, and I use this heat resistant tape. And so now I'm going to heat press it for 45 seconds. Oh, and you got to remember to put down some parchment paper so you don't get any ink on the bottom of your heat press. And you want to make sure that you get the image centered as much as possible. I'll eyeball it a lot of the time, but you can use a tape measure. And I usually go about 2 inches down from the collar. And this is kind of a bigger collar. Some of the ones that are closer or higher up on the neck, you might want to go 3 inches down. So it just depends on your shirt. And then you'll just want to measure, you know, from each side of the image, and you want to try to get as close as possible. So I got about 3 inches on each side. And one last thing is you want to put something underneath the shirt. Whether I have like a piece of chipboard, you can use scrapbook paper, white paper, or whatever. That way you wouldn't accidentally have any of the ink bleed onto the back of the shirt. All right, I heated it up, and here is the design. I haven't played around with colored shirts a whole lot, mostly been doing white with sublimation, but I really like how this came out. Can y'all see that okay? That looks really nice. Now I had white as the offset around these 2 words, but sublimation doesn't do white, so it's really just the color of the pink shirt. But I think that looks just great. All right, so that is my cute little shirt. I can't wait to give it to her. All right, thank you all so much for watching, and remember to hit the like button, and I'll see you all on the next video. Bye for now. Love ya.